not that long after the Little Mermaid fiasco, we now have the casting of Nani for Lilo and Stitch. I was not a huge, I'm not the target demographic. No, it's not my generation, but this discussion is one that's going to go on forever. And the funny thing about this is they're saying it's not about...
Thank you.
It's
not about crisis parties.
It's not about crisis parties. They're saying that this isn't about racism, it's about colorism.
Yes. Okay.
We're going to restart. We have to cut this up later and make something out of it.
All right.
They have done the casting for Lilo and Stitch. They've cast Nani. It's an actress named Sydney Elizabeth Ogdong, and they're mad because they do not believe that her skin tone is the proper color.
Right. Yeah. They're saying that this is an example of colorism because she's not as dark as Nani in the animated movie and show. The show is more from my Disney Channel generation than Brett's.
And if you want the definition of colorism, because somebody in the chat asked what is colorism, it says prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Colorism within the Black community, colorism, yes. So in this case, they're just saying that Nani should be darker.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite literally that simple. And I guess one thing is that some people are saying this actress, Sydney Ogdong, is ethnically Hawaiian. She is not. She is half white and half Filipino, but she is Hawaiian by just her citizenship there. She's from that state as geographically.
So the argument is that she's not Polynesian.
She's not ethnically Polynesian. So that is a problem, and they also think that she just ought to be darker in her skin tone. I think that she resembles Nani well enough in her facial features, and that she probably, with makeup, with color grading, with just tanning based on her ethnicity, her background, she would basically look the same. But people are sourcing all of the pictures of her where she looks the lightest in skin tone to compare her to the animated character and complain that this is an example of racist, colorist casting, when in reality it's just colorblind casting done in the opposite direction that you wanted. When it's Tinkerbell being casted by Yara Shahidi, or Holly Bailey in The Little Mermaid, or any of these other examples, it's something to be celebrated arbitrarily. But when it's done in the opposite direction, then it's a problem.
And it's funny too, because somebody in the chat says Mighty Rax says not too many Samoan actors. Well, like Hawaii Five-0, the modern version of Hawaii Five-0 did a very good job of casting that show. I don't know if maybe they got the same if they have the same casting director working for them for a project like this, that would have been very good. But this was it was never going to be not controversial. And I'm just going to laugh at all of it, because I'm going to laugh at it when they cast Ariel, and I'm going to laugh at it when they do this, because you're never going to make everyone happy, and someone's always going to be angry.
I would rather
everyone has a right to be angry. Like they do. These people have a right to be angry. The people who wanted this, and the people
if you're angry about this, you are mentally disturbed.
But also then the people who are mad about the Little Mermaid. Everyone's mad.
I don't think of it's something to be mad about. I think it's something to just point out and not pretend that this is colorblind casting. I think that all of these casting decisions have a considerable amount of thought and discussion beforehand.
Absolutely.
And how it will go over with the public. So when Disney did this, I cannot imagine they didn't know that it would receive backlash. They know that in both directions, the outrage marketing works.
Here's the problem. When this happened before, Disney offers their full-blooded defense of the actress of Halle Bailey in the Little Mermaid. They do not. Disney's been suspiciously silent on this, so they're just leaving her out to dry.
But don't tell me that Disney didn't know that there would be backlash to Sydney Ogdong being pale and also not being of Hawaiian heritage. They knew that this would make people angry. I don't know what their plan for that was other than getting negative attention rather than positive attention.
This was one tweet that kind of perfectly encapsulates what they think about it. It says, whitewashing the Lilo and Stitch casting is not the same as casting Ariel as black. Positive POC representation subverts racism. Whitewashing canonically brown and black characters does not. Whiteness has never been made a mockery of in media to need that representation at all.
Another example that people were bringing up is the casting of Naomi Scott in Aladdin as Princess Jasmine, because she was half white and half Indian, therefore not dark enough for them.
Yeah.
And it's just really weird to be this fixated on people's skin tone.
That also like eventually just disappeared from the news cycle because it's not beneficial to them. So just like that, this will disappear from the news cycle eventually too.
Yeah, all the outrage gets memory hold.
Well, just this type of outrage gets memory hold, not the one that they like. They like the other the other outrage. This stuff won't help them.
Yeah, do you think that the media is going to ask Sydney Agudong questions about the reaction to her casting?
That's a very good question.
Because they asked Yara Shahidi as Tinkerbell about that, and she had the perfect opportunity to go on record saying, you know, diversity.
They probably won't give her the opportunity.
Is such a beautiful thing in the entertainment we love, and it's a way to like welcome people. Like they always do these baiting questions when it's the other way around. But are they going to put Sydney Agudong in the position where she has to defend Disney's outrage marketing? Like, is she going to have to speak for the fact that she's not Polynesian descent? I don't know.
No, I don't think they'll give her the platform to do that. I don't think they'll ask those questions. They'll ignore it. It's also really funny. I was reading a bunch of the comments regarding Cleopatra, and it's just, it really does. It speaks to the power of Hollywood's ability to change history through their movies and television, where there's just a ton of people who are like, oh yeah, she was black.
Right.
Like, who just, they just take it as true.
It's like, yeah, like Cleopatra was black. You might have a disagreement. You might have evidence to the contrary, but is it really worth losing your job over?
Exactly. One more
Cleopatra's black.
From Nepneps.
Nepneps said, one more super chat. I'm also an elite member with Timcast, if that part wasn't obvious.
I'm glad that there's other people in the Discord here, and I hope there are actually people in the Discord watching right now. I check the PCC Live Discord all the time and check it out, so I'm constantly on there.
I also don't remember if this currency that Regatan sent is equal to $20.
I don't know.
Sorry, but
well, not blue. Blue's like $2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. But I think like all of the reactions to this were just from deeply unhinged and unfulfilled people. One said, I'm trying to have an appropriate reaction to this. There are like 8 drafts of me quoting this tweet. All of them would get me suspended and maybe even jailed.
Yeah.
So you were making violent threats? Get the feds on their asses.
This is why it's better to just laugh at all this stuff, guys. Like, I understand the desire to get angry at a lot of this. They're working to actively change history, and they really are in a lot of ways working to ruin the culture. But speaking out against it is important, but also remember to keep your sense of humor. Like, I don't want to be the outrage guy. I want to be able to laugh at everybody when this stuff happens, because it makes me laugh, because it feels like maybe it's like a response, like there's nothing I can do about it, so all I can do is laugh. Like, I can talk about it and we can have these discussions,
but I don't rage about it either.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to be the outrage guy. I want to talk about it. I want to have a discussion about it. Like I said, I thought this tweet that this person said was I disagree with her, but I found it to be an interesting definition by their definition as an activist as to why the entertainment is important and why it's okay for them to be hypocritical. To them, that's okay. They don't see anything wrong with that, because to them there is no truth but power. Therefore, it's kind of like the notion of the ends justify the means, right? Like, I know that I'm being hypocritical. I know that it was the exact same thing going the other way when The Little Mermaid got cast, but I don't care, because it's about my end goal, which is, I guess, some vague quota of beating racism, whatever that means.
The quota is irrelevant. It's just less white people.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre because they're dunking on a woman who is not even white.
That's in this tweet. This person just says, now this could be a fake account, just says, they shouldn't make movies with white people.
Another tweet said, dark-skinned women can't have anything. This is so disappointing. Literally, what are you talking about? You get everything.
Well, I mean, they can't get anything unless they'll cast black women in everything now, but they're always gay. They always make them gay in the movies and the television shows.
Is that the case?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Halle Bailey isn't.
Yeah, but that's like the rare example of like the leading role in the movie. When they're doing it in television shows, it's good. They're all gay.
Well, everyone in the case of Tinkerbell, she's not gay. She likes Peter Pan.
In television, like chat, help me out.
Like if it's
chat,
the CW, I guess.
Chat, help me out. Like it's most like those are big budget examples, I guess, for movies. Yeah. But on television, it's different.
I am tired of the response from
what about the Woman King?
Quote, anti-woke people saying, this is such a double standard. It's so hypocritical. The double standard, call it out. Yeah. When, in fact, these people are making the double standard as explicit as they possibly can. We don't need to call it out anymore. We don't need to draw attention to it or point it out. They are openly saying, yes, it's a double standard, and this is why. And we will not be happy until all of the characters in these live action remakes or anything new are positive POC representation. It's all out there. They lay their cards on the table. We know what they're advocating for. It's, in most cases, not even underhanded anymore. They are explicitly saying, we don't want light-skinned people or white people on screen. We know this. There's nothing to point out. And there's nothing to uncover.
And they're also they are doing Moana. I completely forgot about this one recently. That they're doing Moana.
Live action Moana is on its way, and the dead body of that movie is not even cold yet.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. That movie did really well, but it did well because it was a new idea.
Yeah.
And making a live action remake of it, which again is going to have like the worst color grading ever.
Yeah.
Like all these Disney remakes do. It's not going to make it any more special than the last iteration.
Also, you said that there was somebody in particular that wanted them to be cast in this.
Oh, High Voltage 75 said, welcome back, Mary. Did any particular moment from the Austin show stand out to you? I really liked the part when drunken Alex Jones wandered into the crowd and to field questions from the audience while Tim sat there seething. I don't know if he was seething, but yeah, Alex Jones was definitely being his usual bombastic self.
He knows how to work. He knows how to work a crowd.
Definitely, drunk or sober, and that's irrelevant. But I guess what was my favorite part? Honestly, like the parts leading up to the show before it started and before the people started rolling in was really exciting. I got to watch Ian singing his heart out and playing guitar on stage for like at least a half an hour before we started. And he was just feeling himself. He started dancing. Honestly, that was like one of my favorite parts, and it wasn't even part of the show. Because like, I mean this like totally genuinely, Ian's just the best, guys.
When he's on stage, he's
such a free person. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's so like unencumbered. Yeah. I love that about him.
Look, for these types of things, we're gonna have to talk about this every time this type of stuff happens. I think the best thing that you can do to the contrary, that we can do to the contrary in this culture, is to start making our own art. And that's what a lot of the Daily Wire is doing. That's what a lot of other people are doing. And also remember that for a lot of it, these types of casting things become really important when it's stuff where they feel like there's going to be influence on children or the youth. Genres outside of sci-fi get left alone. The stuff that's made for older white dudes gets left alone, and they just make it the way that they used to make TV shows back in the 80s and the 90s. These type of things are interesting, but to me, it's the hypocrisy on both sides. I don't care.
what's I think that we just need to talk about it because they embarrass themselves and we don't need to do the work.
Okay.
One girl actually quote tweeted the announcement of this casting with a selfie and said, "Listen, she's probably a lovely woman, but I can't help but feel disappointed. I wanted Nani to look like me." Sad face emoji.
It's a statement on the narcissism.
You
of the
don't look
culture.
like Nani.
It's a statement on the narcissism of the culture we live in right now, to expect everybody, every character, just because you identify with that character, to look like you. Also, to me,
pull that up again. Okay. That woman doesn't look like Nani, like at all.
Yeah.
In fact, she's probably hoping for the character to be plus size so she can get represented in that way too.
It's a weird part of the culture now where you feel like you have to be represented in everything you see, and I'll never understand that.
Stop crying and wetting your diaper and soiling yourself about it. Like, gosh, like, care about something adults care about. The movie is for children. Yeah. But I guess since these people are still like spiritually children, they can't move on.
It's the extended adolescence. Also, there was what was the other thing that I was gonna? Beyond that, we also have this, guys. They canceled. If you want an idea of just how much the culture has changed and how much they're willing to not let your opinion be heard, somebody started a cancel Queen Cleopatra. A cancel Queen Cleopatra on Netflix change.org petition, and it got taken down by change.org.
I wonder why.
I have no clue.
Why violated community guidelines, whatever that means.
Why would that be?
Sounds bogus.
Why would they get rid of that? So that they can alter history all they want, and you won't have any say in the matter because they get to be the ones that are arbiters of truth.
I mean, I know that change.org petitions have never really changed anything, but it's just a way that people are trying to voice dissent against all of this insanity. It says over 85,000 people signed the petition before it was taken down. Can't imagine where it would be at by now if it hadn't got taken down. People know that petitions like this don't stop Netflix from doing anything that they plan on doing.
I don't know if these types of petitions
it's just to make a point.
Yeah.
You know, it's just to say, like, not everyone is cool with this. Not everyone supports this. And you can't even do that.
Yeah.
It's just disheartening.
And it was the Greek City Times that wrote the article.
Whatever happened to representation of Egyptians? Right?
Yeah.
Like, Cleopatra was not African American.
I also don't know if the Cleopatra movie starring Gal Gadot is still going forward with Patty Jenkins. That could still be going forward, but I'm not 110% sure. That was still in the works. The last I heard, they're making a Queen Cleopatra movie starring Gal Gadot.
Not a documentary.
No, a movie based on
a separate thing.
Okay. A movie. And
starring Gal Gadot.
Yep. And as far as I know, that's still going forward. Okay. So that would be, maybe that's the answer.
I mean, she looks Mediterranean. That makes a hell of a lot more sense.
The Cleopatra cinematic universe, and they can both exist in the same, Earth 1 Cleopatra is the Jada Pinkett Smith Cleopatra. And,
it's going to be like Kang.
I guess Earth 1
Endless multi-dimensional version.
Who played the original Cleopatra?
Elizabeth Taylor.
She's Earth 1 Cleopatra. Gal Gadot can be Earth 2 Cleopatra. And the girl in the other one can be in the Netflix one can be the Earth 3 Cleopatra. That's what
nobody can do it like Elizabeth Taylor. It's just a fact, y'all.
There's a lot less gravitas these days than there was back then. There was a lot more gravitas back then. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.